Okay, so today I will be adding on to admin's video, and I will mostly be talking about this part. You see Sengkang today, it is quite developed, right? Well, the truth is, in the late 1990s, I'm just gonna use that as a reference point, everything to the west of Sengkang East Road pretty much did not exist, except this road, Sengkang East Avenue. So pretty much, Trans-Island Bus Services, they only operated along this side of the town. Okay, this is kind of like my really bad piecing together of a map, but this one is the oldest road, Sengkang East Avenue and West Avenue. And then last time, this bridge didn't exist, so Sengkang East Way pretty much stopped here, and there was no such road as Sengkang West Way. Jalan Kayu was just Jalan Kayu. Like the road, like Sengkang West Way didn't even touch Jalan Kayu at all. I forgot how old this road is. And then as for the LRT, obviously this one opened first. And then West Loop opened. They made it so that, if I'm not mistaken, before 3 p.m. it was a clockwise loop. And then after 3 p.m. it was like an anti-clockwise loop. Again, if I'm not mistaken, I could be completely wrong. Actually, wait, no. Come to think about it, because this side actually developed first, I still think this one should be AM and this one should be PM. Okay, I might have gotten it wrong, but yeah. And then when I was younger, pretty much this part of it, like this whole part of Sengkang, was just grassland. The park didn't exist. It was literally just grassland and a road below. If I'm not mistaken, Farmway opened first, and then Ching Lim opened, and then this Kupang, it was the last to open. It was kind of like how Punggol East LRT, how do I put it? Oasis was like the second last to open, and then Damai. Then for Punggol West Loop, it was like only 5, 6, and 7 open. 1, 2, 3, 4 from like Samki, Tikli, Pongo Point, Samudra, they haven't opened yet. But yeah, this area was pretty much grassland. And then now, a common misconception that a lot of enthusiasts have is that Woodlands started off as Trans-Island Bus Services. That's not correct. The one that started off as Trans-Island Bus Services is actually Yishun and not Woodlands. Okay, except Sembawang Road, pretty much all of Yishun was like Trans-Island Bus Services. Because Yishun is I would say like a 1980s, like a late 1980s town. So yeah, the reason why I said that is because you have to remember that last time, Sengkang did not have this feeder service. For a very long time, this used to be like the only feeder service in Sengkang, but this number used to be, how should I put it? So SBS, they had 372 in it at Marsiling. Marsiling is part of Woodlands. And then this one eventually became Trans-Island Bus Services. And then they renumbered it as part of like the rebranding. And yeah, obviously, I don't have much to say about this, but yes, 372 was a Woodlands bus service. I've said this in other videos before, and the only feeder service at that time was 371. Okay, I'm gonna draw modern day 371. It is like this, and then when it goes in, it's like this. This is the modern day version. But the older version of 371 is like this. Okay, I'm not too sure about this part, but this was the olden day version. And then it just loops here. Now you might be thinking, this looks kind of familiar, right? Not exactly, but okay, there was 103 that does this. There was also 163 that did this. Both of them used to be under Trans Island for a short period of time. I think 4 years or something along those lines. And then 163, instead of going up there, it eventually absorbed 371. Not completely, but up till here. Then it goes like this, and then like this. And then this part of the old 371, they kind of like they removed it because there was like the Sengkang East LRT, so they removed this. And then this eventually became, so yeah, this became the modern day 163. But historically this thing used to be like Jalan Kayu to Harbourfront. It was under SBS. Then it got truncated to Toa Payoh, then handed over to TIBS. Then afterwards, Trans Island Bus Services handed it back to SBS. Then it absorbed 371, and this is now present day 163. So yeah, nowadays you have one link, two links, three links. You're gonna have a fourth pretty soon in August. I forgot the month, but like yeah. But it used to be only just one link. I forgot the age of this one, but I'm pretty sure this one didn't exist back then. Cause come to think of it, if you are like younger than let's say 15 years old, I don't know, I'm just making up a random number. You might think that, oh, this side has like 85, this side has like 102, and all this good stuff. But I'm here to tell you that, well, this road didn't exist back then. It was just this road, Sengkang East Avenue and West Avenue. I don't know if it's even called West Avenue, but yeah, nowadays Sengkang East and West Avenue is separated by the river. Next up is 372, the present day one. Okay, I'm gonna show you the older route within Sengkang, not Woodlands. If I'm not mistaken, it was like this and like this. And then the loop was like this. When this area wasn't so developed yet, it was like a single loop. Compare it to the present day version. Okay, there is this part over here, which allows you to hub spoke to 43, and then the upcoming bus service, as well as you know, stuff like this. Stuff like this, it allows you to hub spoke down. And then this part became bidirectional. This part became unidirectional. So nowadays, 372's purpose is to link you to Punggol Road, and Punggol Road you have 88, 82. Okay, but mainly these two bus services allows you to access Pasir Ris. That's the reason for why for 372's hub spoke. Just like how this thing, which was almost introduced, it was supposed to be Punggol Coast to Punggol Interchange Loop, but they replaced this one with a mere 117 extension to Punggol Coast. And in the same fashion for Sengkang, there used to be 373, and then there was even like EDS data being programmed already. This one got rejected, again, same thing, in favor of 102's amendment via this stretch. But I don't know how this one looked like. I just know that there was like actually EDS data. This one had been on the table for a few years, and then they just decided to, it was more worth it to just push 102 towards this sector. So Yeah, this one eventually got rejected. And if you're curious about 104, okay, fine. That's why it's only going to be introduced in September. August the road opens, but yeah, they need a bit more time for like the paperwork and stuff like that. This is 104 within Sengkang. Already talked about this, you guys know the deal, I'm not going to repeat myself again. And then when you're talking about Sengkang, you also have to talk about the present day routes as well. The reason why 373 was skipped was because of that reason actually. So this alone already tells you that like that bus service was on the table, but eventually it got tossed out in favor of like another amendment. So this one, I mean, do I really even need to say much about this? It's the same hub spoke concept, unidirection along Sengkang East Road. And then it's like this. And then currently it's an anti-clockwise loop like this. But then this is not official information or anything, but I suspect that they're going to convert this thing into bidirectional and then make it serve inside and then like this. Anyway, this is just my suspicions. There is no like evidence whatsoever to prove this. I'm just saying that the fact that there are no bus stops along this sector makes me suspect that this thing is probably going to be extended a little bit inside in the future. Who knows? So yeah, that's about it for 374. Now on to the Trans-Island bus services. There was this thing which used to end at Jalan Kayu. And then it became this. Then it got extended. Okay, modern day 86 goes by here. And then here. But if I'm not mistaken, the older variation of 86 actually went like this, like this, oh no, like this, like this, like this, and then into this small road and then up here. This one was the older one before they changed it so that 86 just goes straight. Yeah, like this. So yes. Well, this thing actually existed. And this thing got handed over to TIBS. If you're curious as to why this is 59, well, this thing used to, even under TIBS for a while, it used to originate from Bishan. It was like Bishan to Jalan Kayu. And then they made it so that this thing, when it was renumbered, it was like Sengkang to Ang Mo Kio. Okay, I don't remember like the exact history, but this was how it goes. Bishan to Jalan Kayu, Ang Mo Kio to Sengkang, and then you have the present day 86. Okay, now I'm going to erase all of this. Let's talk about the old service 85. Not the first generation. The first generation was something like Hougang to Lorong 3, Geylang, and Sims Avenue Loop. I'm talking about the second generation. The current 85 is like generation 3. But this was the second generation. It started off as 860, then got renumbered to something that you guys know better, 865. This thing, okay, you know present day 119, well, it was exactly like that. Like this, like this. Okay, nowadays 119 got extended to Pongo. But before that, before the extension, 119 used to be like this, and then 119 used to be called 865. When they withdrew this, there was a lot of backlash, so they had to compensate by just truncating 865 to the current 119 sector, the current 119 route without the Pongo sector. The extension to Pongo only happened after a BSCP in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So 866, I've already described it. 865 was basically like, okay, I'm just gonna draw. Just bear with me a little bit. Harbourfront, Kampong Baru Road, Lower Delta Road, Tiong Bahru Plaza. So it was different from 65. 65 goes like River Valley. This one goes to Havelock, Great World, and then Patterson, and then Orchard, Somerset, Dhoby Ghaut, and then up Prinsep and Siligi to Little India and Farrer Park. Then this thing pretty much parallels Northeast Line until Kovan. And then after Kovan, it just follows 119, the present day 119 up. I mean, without going inside Hougang Street 21, of course. It just goes straight and follows 119 to Sengkang. So yeah, what else have I not talked about? Okay, I'm gonna get to these in a while. Because like I've covered all of these already, and then I've covered this. Okay, now let's cover Trans Island Bus Services 82. And then I'll move on to 864. So 82, I think it's better if I do this in like macro view. I'm just gonna, like what I did with like 865 and then 85. I'm gonna, yeah. Alright, so 82, Shenton Way. And then it goes to, it was like St. Andrews and Connaught Drive. Okay, I hate drawing this, but you get the idea. Then it was Beach Road. Then it was like Jalan Sultan. But then for a period of time, it was like Beach Road, Crawford Street, North Bridge Road, Jalan Sultan. Not Jalan Sultan, but like, wait, it wasn't North Bridge Road. I think it was like Crawford Street. Okay, never mind. I don't think it was Jalan Sultan. My bad. But hey, if the route still existed, it will probably use Jalan Sultan anyway. But then again, that is just 107, so yeah, the present day 107. But yeah, it used to have like a sector whereby it goes into some road that I cannot forget. I cannot remember its name, and then it serves Lavender in one direction, and then the other direction it was just like Crawford Street down like this. But okay, fine. Let's just say Beach Road, Crawford Street. For simplicity's sake, let's just ignore that like this part used to exist. Okay, whatever. Let's just assume it's like Beach Road, Crawford Street, and Lavender Street. And then obviously after Lavender Street, it was like Lavender Street, Serangoon Road, and then this one is like Bendemeer Road. And then this thing pretty much, remember Pongo Road used to be just one straight road from Upper Serangoon Road. So it was just Upper Serangoon Road and then Pongo Road and then obviously Pongo Road End. And then 82, it had the most colorful fleet back then because it was like it used to be under SBS, then it got handed over to TIBS, and then it was like under SBS again. So it pretty much used like every single bus known to existence. I don't know, like VSO, Trident, and under TIBS it had like what 0405 as well as like 0405G Hispano Mark 1s. Only Mark 1s. I don't think Mark 2s ever made it. Yeah, because Mark 2s were like 1999, and then by that time it already had handed over back to SBS. So there was only photo evidence of like Hispano Mark 1. And obviously it had a colorful fleet, Volvo B10 and Mark 2s, and then when it was truncated to become Serangoon to Pongo Road and Loop, it used to be under Ang Mo Kio Depot for a while before Serangoon got handed over to Hougang Depot in exchange for Brattle Bus Park to Yuno. I forgot the history. I used to remember it. Now I just completely forgot about it. But since 82 used to be under Ang Mo Kio Depot, yes, it had 0405s. These were permanent, by the way. I'm not joking. Okay, I'm getting messier and messier, but okay. Let me do this in macro view again. The reason why I want to show you this is because let's just say this is Lavender Street, and then this is like the entire sector not drawn to scale. Upper Serangoon Road to Punggol Road. And then this one is like Beach Road to CBD. You get the idea, 82. There was one service that did not make it to Trans Island Bus Services. And it got cut short. This thing, it used to be 83. From Punggol Road End. And then from Farrer Park onwards, it copied service 147 to New Bridge Road. So this one was New Bridge Road. This one was Shenton Way, Prince Edward Terminal. Whichever one you want to. I mean, they're different, but you kind of get the gist of it. So yeah, 87 was eventually integrated with something else to become 147. More of like 147 used to start at Toa Payoh, like Toa Payoh. Then afterwards, it got pushed out to. That's why it had the 14 something, because 135 to like 159 all originated from Toa Payoh originally. I mean, with the exception of this one, 154. This one was an exception, but it passed through Toa Payoh, so I'm not gonna complain about it. It was like MacPherson to Jurong or something along those lines. So yeah, 147 used to start from Toa Payoh, and then it got pushed out to Potong Pasir. I already talked about Potong Pasir 147 like many times. I even recreated the route, the Potong Pasir version. And then this one, I don't know what it integrated with, but somehow 83 got eaten up by 147. And then when Yio Chu Kang Road, Hougang Avenue 2, 8, Hougang Avenue 2, 8 Upper Serangoon Road, Hougang Central. That Yio Chu Kang Road troll. But okay, I don't even get how this is an integration. I mean, the integration is probably this part, if anything. But yeah, you can take it that 83 never made it to TIBS. It was absorbed into 147, and 147 is Hougang, not Sengkang, so it never went to TIBS. But this one went to TIBS. So yeah. The main point is that from Punggol Road End, you had one to to New Bridge Road, and then one to Shenton Way. They duplicated each other, like I'm not even joking, duplicated each other until the Lavender Street / Balestier Road area, if you would call it. This was where 82 and 83 split. The reason why they needed such a duplicated, needed both to duplicate each other was because there was no train back then. There was no MRT, and then a lot of buses they existed as a pair, one going to New Bridge and then one going to Shenton Way. So both needed to exist, otherwise one of them wouldn't be able to like cope with the demand. And then there was also like the hassle of transferring buses back then. That's why they needed both to split the demand. Okay, now 864 and 84. I mean, both of them merged to become 80. But this 864, it was literally introduced by Trans Island Bus Services in order to compete with this one. Okay, these two, it's like, how do I even explain it? This one was like Hougang to Harbourfront back then. Again, via Tanjong Pagar. Then this thing was Sengkang to Marina Center. So from Marina Center, it would follow. It did follow. Okay, I shouldn't say follow. The route is similar to the present day 960 from Marina Center to Bugis, but only up to Bugis. So from Bugis onwards, both of these bus services. Okay, maybe I should show using. Okay, so both of them. It was like Bugis, Lavender, Kallang, Aljunied. And then 84 would go inside Geylang East Central, and 864 would go Sims Avenue. Paya Lebar Road. And then obviously Paya Lebar Road, Geylang Road back then. Okay, my drawing isn't the most accurate, but yeah. The SBS one went into Geylang East Central. The Trans-Island Bus Services one, they remained outside. And I'm not joking, this thing literally parallel, both of them literally parallel each other. Paya Lebar Road, Upper Paya Lebar Road, you know Tai Seng there. And then this is Upper Paya Lebar Road, Upper Serangoon Road. And then 84, it would terminate at Hougang Central. Then 864 would continue its, I forgot the route, but it would continue its way to Sengkang. So as you can see, with the amount of duplication, this thing was literally just introduced to compete with it. I'm not even joking. I'm not making this up. And then obviously, as mentioned before, when SBS took control of this, eventually they got merged to form 80. And if you're curious, what was 80 last time? This thing, okay, I could be wrong, but this is the current one should be the second generation. The first one was like, oh dear, it was like 80. This was Hougang. So the sector between Hougang and Tampines, it used to be called 80. Okay, you know what, I'm messing up. I don't think I should present it like this. So that it's clearer, Hougang Central and Tampines. The sector between Tampines and Hougang Central was called 80. The sector between Hougang Central and Yio Chu Kang was called 72. Okay, but technically 72 didn't really go to Hougang Central ever since the beginning of time. It was like Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5 loop. But looping at where I forgot. And I think the looping sector probably extended over the course of time. But yeah, if you want to think of it in a really oversimplified manner, okay, fine. This one is 72 and then this one is 80. Take it as you will. Take it as you will. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about this, but this is just in case you're wondering, hey, what was 80 back then? But yeah, this 80 that I'm referring to is not the earliest 80. But yeah, SBS Transit, when they took control, they merged them into one consolidated service, which no longer serves Marina Center, and then which no longer serves Sims Avenue and Geylang Road between Aljunied Road and Paya Lebar Road because it goes inside Geylang East Central. So yeah, that is it for this one. So yeah, done this and done this. Okay, now I have these two. Okay, 511 and 512, the express services, they were from Hougang. Now I'm going to show you, okay, do you remember that 85, which used to be, which is now currently 119? It's like this, right? Well, there were two other bus services actually. But a disclaimer, these two were not by Trans-Island Bus Services. This was after SBS took back Sengkang from Trans-Island Bus Services. And these two express services were as follows. And hex. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna say the Sengkang sector first. I'm just going to say what these two were. Okay, let's start with 501. Okay, I'm gonna show you CTE. CTE all the way to Outram Road, Cantonment, Anson, Robinson, Collier Quay, Fullerton Road, Esplanade Drive, that small part of Nickel Highway that has no bus stops, loop at Suntec. And then Stanford, Orchard, Penang, Buyong Road, and then back to CTE. And then the hex version, CTE, just exit just copy the current CDSs and then just loop at Suntec like that, like a city shopper kind of thing. Okay, not really city shopper. I'm just using it for easier reference. As I mean, this thing functioned like a city shopper, even though it didn't have the city shoppers, those typical routes. The city shopper. Just go read up on city shopper. I've already made videos covering those. So yeah, this was 501, and then the hex version, which I showed you. And then 502, let me use a different color. I'm gonna use, okay, let's use green. I don't know why I use green, but let's just use green. It was, so obviously as you can see, this is Orchard. This is like Napier, Tanglin, Napier, Holland, and then to Clementi MRT. And then nowadays it's Tokuan Road, IMM. But in the past, before the rationalization, it used to be Boon Lay Way, Jurong East Central, and then Jurong East 71. And obviously copy it all the way to Boon Lay Avenue. The present day 502 goes Central 1 and Street 64, but back then, it just used Jalan Boon Lay, Jurong West Central 3. I mean like this. So it was like Boon Lay to Sengkang. And then this is 501, of course. Now I am going to show you the intermediate routes for both of them. Okay, 511 and 512, if I'm not mistaken, it was CTE Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3, Yio Chu Kang Road, Hougang Avenue 9, and then 4. And then 8, Upper Serangoon Road, and then Hougang Central. Whoops, sorry. CTE Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3, Yio Chu Kang Road, Hougang Avenue 9, Hougang Avenue 4, 8, Upper Serangoon Road, and Hougang Central. You get the idea. But now let's compare it with 501 and 502. So instead of Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3, these two, they exited at Ang Mo Kio, Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1. Lorong Chuan, Boundary Road, Yio Chu Kang Link, Yio Chu Kang Road. Hougang Avenue 2, and Hougang Avenue 8. Hougang Avenue 10. Punggol Road, Sengkang East, Punggol Road, Sengkang East Avenue, Rivervale Drive, but instead of following 119, goes here, Compassvale Road, and then obviously into Sengkang. So I made this video so that you can better appreciate the history of Sengkang. Because literally, other than Sengkang East Avenue, and of course the NEL depot, pretty much everything along here did not exist back then. Like legit. It was just, Farmway was literally Farmway. So yeah, you can better appreciate like how many services Sengkang now actually has. Although I still think Sengkang West is kind of lacking when it comes to the number of bus services. Literally, there's like 50, there's like 102, and what else? There's 86 outside, which doesn't even count as like within Sengkang. And then there's like the new generation of 85. There was the scrapped 85 hex because they didn't find it useful at all. 85 hex was like a peak hour variant that skipped Sengkang West Way and East Way. But yeah, you have all these new bus services nowadays. Then you're gonna have 104. And unfortunately this one, then yeah, you have 43, which was actually one of the OG SBS routes into Punggol. Now, I'm not saying that one is. Okay, 43 is like, I am just like a few years older than like 43. I'm born 1999, but yeah, it was around my era basically, even though I'm older than that bus service. So yeah. Yeah, and outside you have, after 2003, 62 got extended to Pongo. So at the fringe area you had 62. Then nowadays, what do you guys have? You have 654 over here. You have 671. I forgot the route. Okay, I think it's like that. You have 671. You have 678. You have 591. Then you also have 592 within Sengkang as well. Although that one is like kind of, besides 592, you guys have another premium bus service to Changi Business Park, but I honestly forgot about it. But yeah, uh, this map is quite big, so just gonna let you guys get like a macro view of Sengkang. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There is like this thing as well, which is like this, like this. I really forgot the route of the. I think it was like this, and then like this, and then like this. Yeah, 677 is like, it's not serving any new areas. It's just to complement the Northeast Line. That's all. It's not like it serves any underdeveloped area whereby it has potential in the future, like 678. But okay, whatever. At least you guys got another CDS, and obviously you have the new 83 as well. That like, this wasn't the earliest variation of the route, because this Sengkang Square, Sengkang East Road, Compassville Street, this sector is technically not the oldest variation of like this generation's 83. So yeah, goes to Pongo. Nowadays you have all of these services. And yeah, you have like 965 as well, which was supposed to go to Buangkok, but then they rejected it in the end. So now it's just haha like that. Then what else? You have 27 outside. You have the trio, although technically this one starts from Hougang and does this kind of thing. Then you have 87 and then 88 as well. I don't know if I've missed out any bus service. I'm just recalling those from the top of my head. And speaking of this, you have present day 85. I think I touched on this before. It like winds inside a little bit, and yeah. And then obviously 10. Oops, I don't even know where I'm writing. 102, which is Bangkok, like this. Then oh sorry, like this, like this. Okay, fine, whatever. Let's just zoom out anyway. Then yeah, you got like freaking 156 from Bangkok, cause it got amended. Then you have 159 from Sengkang. Then you have 163, which I mentioned before. Then you also have 161 passing through Sengkang. And yeah, did I miss out anything? Even if I missed out whatever, you guys get the idea that Sengkang is like pretty developed except the west part. And I mean, I'm like way more passionate when I explain like the historical bus routes. You see, when I try to explain like modern day bus route, you can just see my energy is like a little bit low. But when I start mentioning all of these, I'm like, oh, this is something I can talk about. But yeah, when I mention all the present day bus services, I'm like, what do I even talk about? That kind of thing. Cause the thing is, you guys already know the present day bus services. I don't have to like repeat it. I'm here to like tell you guys about the bus services that existed before you guys or even me existed. So yeah. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay.